Let's see here. Hoary hosts of blank. 7 across, starts with H, 7 letters. Ah, Hoggoth. At the time of this video, Doctor Strange has finally been released in theaters. Well, to be more precise, it's Marvel's Doctor Strange, as opposed to, say, Harvey Comics' Doctor Strange. There has, of course, been previous attempts to bring it to the big screen. There was a direct-to-DVD animated movie a couple years ago. It was actually quite good. And it was a 1970s pilot, also done by Marvel, in much the same tone as their attempts to break into a larger market, as I described when I was talking about the Incredible Hulk movies. But there's one that not many people actually know about. That's because, technically speaking, it's not legally Doctor Strange. You see, back in 1992, Charles Band of Full Moon Studios had the option to actually do a Doctor Strange movie. But by the time they get everything hammered out, the option had elapsed. Rather than let all that good work go to waste, they decided to make today's movie. Ladies, gentlemen, and extra-dimensional beings, 1992's Dr. Mordrid. Our movie opens in a sumptuous New York apartment loft where our main character is talking to a pair of disembodied eyes, thus leaving no doubt whatsoever that this is going to be a rather odd movie.
The Death's Head will seek you out.
Do you know when?
No. And if I did, I would not stop it.
I understand, Monitor.
I wish you well.
I took an oath. And when the time comes, I'll meet the Death's Head and beat it back.
That spirit is why I chose you for this mission, Mordrid. But courage alone won't be enough.
And this suspicion is indeed borne out when we switch to Rio de Janeiro, where a rather unusual robbery takes place. You see, what happens is one of the drivers of a truck carrying a load of platinum just suddenly decides to shoot his partner and stop the truck. What makes it even stranger is what happens when another car has been following them, pulls up, and this happens.
Beyond the barrier of heaven and earth, let it go free. Into a closed dwelling, may it cause it to enter. Prima materialis. Release this blood of the earth. May it find its place with the philosopher's stone. You are no longer needed.
Dr. Mordrid, as you saw looking rather fetching in blue, is obviously a sorcerer, but his official cover, if you will, is that he's a criminal psychologist specializing in the effects of psychology via the occult. He also happens to own the building that we saw in the beginning, and one of his tenants is a woman named Samantha, who also works as a psychological assistant to the police. And she goes to see one of his lectures.
The cycles of the moon have been proven to affect the tides, magnetic polarity, and human behavior. The word lunatic comes from the Latin lunus, which means moon. We all know that when things get a little crazy, someone always remarks, "There must be a full moon tonight." Which explains what you're all doing here. The basis of criminology is the understanding of the mysteries of the human mind. psychological motivations, thought patterns, so on. But what is all too often rejected completely by the so-called experts is the fact that our thoughts, our beliefs, actions are influenced by much more than what we experience here on the mortal plane. Mysticism, the supernatural, the supernormal, have been a part of man's experience from the beginning, and they cannot be ignored. And if a criminal embraces the fantastic as his motivation for violent behavior, can we afford to ignore that motivation simply because it doesn't fit into our limited notion of the order of things? I think not. Thank you so much for coming.
Another of these strange robberies takes place, this time involving a truckload of industrial diamonds. Figuring this actually matches up with what he's been told will happen by the big giant head, he decides it's time for another magical conference call.
I am here.
The first and second signs have come to pass. Great quantities of basic alchemic elements have been stolen at the times and places predicted.
What does this tell you, Mordrid?
That the Death's Head has escaped.
This is so.
But how?
You must cross over.
You know my ability is limited, Monitor.
You must. And learn for yourself. Is it not part of your duty?
Now we finally get an inkling of just what the hell is going on, as Mordrid used his powers to cross over into a limbo state, which is essentially a giant floating prison, with one very important prisoner.
We let our guard down.
Come on.
See for yourself. He killed him. I don't know how many during his escape. The last thing I saw was a firestorm he conjured up. It would have been kinder to kill me. Instead, he melted my eyes from their sockets and left me here as an example of what a cosmic son of a bitch he is.
What about his followers?
He tried to take the Hellspawn with him, but I beat him back with the last bit of magic I had in me. Now, all I can do is try and keep a lid on those ugly bastards. He's coming for you. He'll journey across to the world of 3 dimensions and kill you.
He's already there. Gathering great quantities of alchemic elements.
Then we're too late, aren't we?
No.
Don't sell Cabal short. He's a tricky son of a bitch. And a powerful alchemist.
I'm powerful too. You look good, old friend.
My God, I bet I do. There's nothing left here for me to give you. Thank you isn't good enough.
Forget it. Besides, you can't stand guard if you can't see.
Well, monitors had you standing guard over Earth for 100 man-years. Do you see? Cabal could end it all.
I'm losing Earth time. Already days have passed since I arrived here.
Then get back and nail that son of a sorcerer.
Now Samantha has become increasingly concerned about the rather strange going on surrounding around Dr. Mordrid, so he decides that she might be useful and invites her into his inner sanctum for coffee and a chat.
Druid,
What?
this pendant's great.
No. That's not Druid. It's something I had made privately. Now, let me ask you one. Why'd you come to my lecture?
It's part of my job. I'm a special consultant to the NYPD involving cults and Satanism, mostly on homicide cases.
So you are a policewoman.
Well, not exactly. Are you doing grant research?
I have a regular stipend, but I'm focused on just one subject.
Demonology?
No. A man.
Now this man, Cabal, has set himself up a base of operations in an abandoned church, prepared for him by a couple of would-be Satanists.
Jesus Christ.
A house of worship in ruins. Very appropriate, Adrian.
Hey, we were cast out of heaven, right?
That we were.
See, everything's just as you wanted it.
It appeared right out of the sky.
Diamonds. The wonders I can create from this primitive earth.
You don't have to tell us what you're gonna do or anything. But are you gonna finance an army to slaughter these ignorant pigs?
Something like that.
Of course, Cabal wouldn't be much of a villain if he didn't gloat, so he goes to pay Anton a little visit.
The crystals of Endor. It will take more than that.
I have more.
I should think so. You've had over 100 Earth years to prepare for this. Why don't you use some of your legendary powers against me now?
I can transport my spirit as well. Remember?
Why do you persist? Why care you what happens to these vermin? What difference does it make if I want this dying planet?
That's not what our power is for.
For what then? For 10 of their centuries we've lived on the other side waiting. Waiting for our chance to take our rightful place as gods in a godless world.
A sorcerer is not a god.
He is if he chooses to be. If he teaches these animals the real meaning of fear by bringing forth their worst nightmares. Nightmares I can control. A world of slaves just for us if you choose not to fight me.
I still guard the pathway.
Like you guarded me, then I'll have use of the pathway. The fabric of the third dimension will rip. The demons will be loose, and all you'll be able to do is hear their mortal screams.
It's not their screams I'll be hearing.
Ah, fool, Anton. If the people of Earth knew what you really were, they would kill you. Yet you choose to protect them.
They are primitive in many ways, but I took an oath to help them. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Now, one of the important elements in any alchemic spell is blood, representing life and the power of the soul. So he gets it from the girlfriend of the idiot with the long hair that we saw earlier on in the church, and leaves a special mark on her body afterwards. So when the police come to investigate Mordrid, well, things don't look so good for him.
You are making a big mistake.
What the hell's going on here?
Questioning your neighbor on suspicion of homicide.
What?
I'm afraid they won't listen to me, Miss Hunt.
I'll listen to you all you want. In the interrogation.
What do you... I need that.
You don't need nothing. Get him out of here.
I'm sorry, Antoine. Are you crazy?
No, but you must be hanging around with a nut like that.
Anton Mordrid is a respected researcher of the black arts. Now, I sent you to him so he could help you solve this case, damn it.
Yeah, which he did. As soon as I saw this. You see, this matches the burn marks on the dead girl's face. And then I started to question him, and he started talking about blood spells and all kinds of
You did not
bullshit.
kill that girl, Tony.
Then he's an accomplice, or it's a culprit. He's connected to it somehow.
Are you telling me you're holding him on a murder charge?
Hey, don't get pissed off. I'm going to put in a good word with you, with the captain. This was a good lead. You did real good.
Even in New York City, talking about demons and blood magic and incantations is gonna get you classified as being kind of cuckoo. So they pretty much figure that Anton is insane. Or at the very least is associated with people who are not exactly all there. So they decide to let Sam go talk to him, since he seems to have built up a rapport with her, and perhaps she can make some sort of sense of what's going on. So that means it's time for exposition!
But the boys were on separate paths. Harnessing their powers together, they could have changed the course of this world for the better. But while one focused on assuming his place as a great sorcerer and command the worlds of light with understanding and beneficence, Cabal, the other student, the ambitious one, found a home with the children of Belial. His goal was to control the powers of darkness, and one day enslave mankind. But evil has great arrogance, and Cabal let down his guard for just a moment and was taken prisoner. Cabal vowed his revenge. So the Sorcerer of Light traveled to Earth to stand guard, protect mankind should Cabal's power ever be unleashed again. Now, after 150 of your years, the worst has happened. Cabal has escaped and come to Earth to turn this planet into a burning ash heap. He will literally rip a hole into the fourth dimension and release the demons who are trapped there onto your world.
Now, at this point, Cabal realizes the only person who could possibly stop him is Mordrid, and he empowers his stringy-haired acolyte with a protection spell. He cannot be harmed for the next 24 hours, and sends him into the police station to kill Mordrid. Fortunately, Sam helps Mordrid to escape along with his amulet, and they make their way to the park. Mordrid had pretended to take her hostage with a illusory gun so that she won't be involved or get into trouble for helping him to escape. But there's a problem. You see, it turns out that the most important artifact that Cabal needs to complete his final spell and release the demons is a Philosopher's Stone, which in this case is a large slab of stone used for mixing alchemic potions. And it just happens to be in the Natural History Museum, on the opposite side of town from Central Park. Oops.
I'm going to leave my body, Sam.
What?
I'm going to leave my body in a trance-like state and transport my form to where he is. I need you to guard over my body.
Wait a second.
Otherwise, I might not be able to come back.
Okay, I guess, since I'm your hostage, I have to do as you say, right?
Right.
Now, since this is a pre-9/11 New York, Cabal just carries an armored case into the museum, strolls around, and nobody pays any attention to this man in a strange robe carrying a suspicious case. And when everybody just leaves, he just stays behind. Never mind the fact the museum is closing, and part of the job as security guards to make sure everybody's gone. He just figures, walks in, smashes the case containing the Philosopher's Stone, puts it on an altar, and starts making creepy crawlers.
Demons, hear me. I command you, use your strength. Set yourselves free!
It won't be quite that easy.
Why do you persist? My children are waiting on the other side.
Yes. You'll be joining them soon.
I think not. Their fate is well sealed. I thought as much. You realize you have no power over me in this state?
No, but I can cast a spell.
Now, security guards finally realize something weird is going on in this particular hall, which includes a collection of chemicals, a alchemic mixing stone, and dinosaurs in the same room. And they decide to investigate. Probably not a good idea to rush into a room with two dueling sorcerers, especially when one has shown absolutely no compulsion about killing people.
God, our powers can be amusing. My friend will eat your charges. And the ones you've sworn to protect, right? How does it feel to be so helpless? You are just a wisp of smoke.
Not quite.
All the elements are in place, Anton. The broad diamonds of Earth, platinum, the sister of gold, and now touch, the element that mankind has twisted into his ultimate weapon. Taste the blood of their future king. Man's last days on Earth are here. At least I'm gonna go out fighting.
Well, this looks really bad. Anton is in his astral form, so he can't directly affect him, and all he can do is animate a mammoth skeleton to try to save the guards from the T-Rex one. Cabal is in full-on evil mode, and his army of 4 stop-motion demons, I guess the budget pretty much ran low at that point, is about to invade Earth and conquer and destroy everything.
They're loose. My children are loose on your world. You didn't win.
Well, I'll be damned. I did it.
And so the day is saved. Well, almost. There's still that invulnerable Satanist whack job running around.
I'm on a mission from the master, and this man's gotta die.
You don't want to do this.
Yeah, I do.
No!
I gotta kill him.
Sam, cover your eyes.
I thought you'd never get back. This guy says he's on a mission from his master to kill you?
His master's dead.
Well, everything may be hunky-dory, but Monitor is not pleased. It seems that Rule 1 of Wizard School is, do not talk about Wizard School.
You've done well, Mordrid, but you must cross over now.
Why?
You have revealed too much to the mortals. Your capture will jeopardize all future missions. I command you to the other side.
Sam. I'm sorry, but
Anton, who are you talking to?
Mordrid, I command you. You must obey.
no, just let me explain. Sam, I have to leave.
We'll go together.
Where I'm going, you can't come.
Just tell me what kind of weirdness to expect and I'll handle it. I think I've done pretty good so far.
You've done a lot more than that. I'll see you again. I promise. Take care of Edgar for me, will you?
As for Sam, well, we've got a bit of closure involving her, the police, and Mr. Stabby Stab.
Fine, son of a bitch just tried to kill me.
Oh, look, dude, the master protects me from your puny weapons. You ain't got shit! Put it down! Put it down! Jesus Christ! It hurts!
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Call him an ambulance. All right, Sam, where's Mordrid?
I don't know.
The guy kidnaps you at gunpoint. You didn't even see what direction he went
I'm
in?
sorry, Tony. I just turned my head and he was gone, okay?
Yeah, like magic, huh?
In a way, yeah.
But we're not quite done yet. We jump forward to Christmas time.
Well, no offense, Edgar. But there are other people I'd rather be spending my Christmas with. You'll have your bird seeds, I'll have some eggnog, and we'll watch It's a Wonderful Life for the 100th time. Guess it could be worse.
It could be better.
Much better.
Thanks for taking care of Edgar for me.
Well, you're here to stay for a while. You're going to vanish on me again.
Well, wherever they send me, I'll need some help. Somebody I can trust.
I'll do my best.
Good. But first, we have to have a little eggnog. And watch our movie. For the first time.
So that was Dr. Mordrid. How was it? Rather interesting. Granted, it's obviously very low budget, and the dialogue isn't always the greatest, but overall, this movie is actually pretty good. Jeffrey Combs, who you may remember for a great many things, including several roles on Star Trek, especially Deep Space Nine, where he played Wayne number 5, Wayne number 7, and my favorite, Wayne number 12. He absolutely hits it out of the park. The man is definitely a talented actor. The rest of the cast is comparatively small, but then you don't need a huge amount of people to tell a relatively small story. You don't need big fancy special effects and skyscrapers being bent in half and things like that. Marvel will take note. When you get right to it, it's a fairly simple story. Good sorcerer, bad sorcerer, bad guy escapes, wants to conquer Earth, mankind is caught in the middle. Even the police act in a perfectly rational manner given the situation. Mordrid is supposedly associated with it, due to the mark on the girl's forehead and his connection with the occult and bizarre behavior, so they initially arrest him as a material witness and possible connection to the murder. Even the special effects, small as they are, actually fit in the story quite well. A few flashy magical effects and the stop-motion dinosaurs and the demons. Stop-motion was one of the hallmarks of Full Moon Studios. Actually worked quite well in the situation. He doesn't have to conjure up a great demon or something like that to fire up Mordrid. He uses what's there to distract the guards and place Mordrid in a moral quandary. Does he work to save the guards, or does he work to stop Cabal? So overall, I'd say this is actually an interesting movie. It's not in any sense exactly good. It's somewhat cheesy in many respects, but actors like Combs definitely hit it out of the park, and overall I'd say it's a pretty fun movie to just relax and enjoy. So for fine acting from Combs, a small but pretty well told story, and some interesting magical effects, I'm going to give this 3.5 Maple Leafs out of 5. Might be a good Halloween movie, or maybe something to watch to wet your whistle for the big screen antics of Doctor Strange. I'm some Canadian critic, and I'll see you in the astral plane.